Hi, this is Sam from Recieving Consultancy, and this is the second video in a series about Apple Mail, where we're just going through some basic things just to get you started and get you kicking with Apple's Mail application here. So last video we just set up our accounts, so we have an account here. This is example at racivingconsultancy.com, and we're just going to go through composing some messages. So if you look at the bottom, that's our other account, which is just downloading a horrifically large amount of emails. We'll ignore that for now, and we'll just go straight into composing a new email. So this is our basic window that we get when we say new email. So in the top we will write obviously who we're going to write our email to. So today we're going to email my colleague Sam. So I'm going to send him an email. I'll type in his email address, s.knight@racivingconsultancy.com. The subject will be called test, and I will say test in the email. He's going to be thrilled to receive that email, I know. So as you can look in here, what we would do initially, we would write that down. So to is Sam Knight. Subject disappears in the just in the box where you see effectively a summary of the email, and then this is the content of the email below. We have a little from here, so we can choose which account we're going to send it from. I'm going to send it from tutorials, because obviously this is a tutorial, and we have this CC category here. So if we click on this, we can add other email addresses that we can send it to, and it will copy them into the email. However, it won't necessarily be addressed to them, but they'll receive it as if it is addressed to them. So it will say, it'll still say to Samuel Knight, but it would be going to, for example, Bob Marley or whoever you decide to CC in. So for example, if I decided to CC in Dave, that's Maven Consultancy.com. That would CC Dave at mavenconsultancy.com. We can also do something called blind copying. So if you bear with me, I've just pressed the wrong button. Bear with me. We can do that now. So if we go down to this one, we see this BCC address field in view in the toolbar. Click that one. It opens up a little BCC, and this is a blind copy. What this will do is this will do the same as when we copy someone in. However, it will basically won't show anyone else that they can see the email. So, for example, Sam will be able to see that Dave at mavenconsultancy.com will be able to see the email. However, he won't be able to see, for example, that John at Maven Consultancy will be able to see the email. So we're going to close that one. If we go to close an email, we can either do two things. We can save it as a draft. We're not going to save it as a draft today, so if we said save, it would go into our drafts folder. If we say don't save, it will just delete it. However, alternatively, if you were going to send an email to s.knight, subject test, you just press the send button up here, and that will just shoot off to him. That will dive into our outbox, which will appear in the side here. If you bear with me, actually, we won't see it in our outbox because we heard that swoosh sound that tends to happen when you send emails in mail, and it literally just went straight into the sent box. But sometimes if there's a little bit of lag, it will go into our outbox, and as it's waiting to send. So there's our email there. Okay, so if you bear with me, we're just going to go through managing emails. So Sam's going to send us an email now, and it should appear in this box here. There we go, just pop through there. So you just reply to our test email, and what happens is that when we open the email, we just click on it, the little blue dot disappears, shows that we've read it, and on the right hand side here, his reply to us. So he's just written reply. If you can see up here, it says security. So he has a digitally signed ticket where there's a certificate based around his email address. That's something we're not going to get into in this video, but it just effectively is a layer of security that you can put on your emails. So he has that. He also has this lovely logo at the bottom here. This is his signature, which we'll go through in later emails. And effectively, you can do signatures to sign off your emails. So this will be a HTML signature. So if, for example, I clicked on this, it would then open up Safari and it would go to the Maven Consultancy website. A few things to note when you're reading emails. So if you look on up here, so it gives you the date that the email came through. It also will give you older emails in the chain. There's a way to turn this off. So for example, if I then replied to Sam's reply to us, I would have to click this button up here. So it's a little reply button up here. It would open up the email chain. I would say reply to, send that off to him, and that will go over to Sam, and what will happen is it will add to this chain. So it's not going to add in this column, it's going to stay in this little section, however it's going to add to this chain. If Sam was then going to reply to me again, it wouldn't add another one here, it would just add to this conversation. So Sam's email has just come in, see, as you can see, it stayed in this box, there's been a little number 2 here, and it's just added to this big chain. What we can do, if we look in our mailbox, we can do something where we effectively get rid of the way we view this. So if we look in here, we've got organise by conversation at the top. If we don't want to organise it by conversation, we click that. We have 2 separate emails. So we have the initial reply that he sent us, and then we have the later reply. If we go back into view, and then we organise by conversation, it'll come back into this section where all the emails are in this line here. If we're going to copy an email, so for example, let's say I'm going to reply to him, I have 2 options. I'm going to reply to him using this bit up here, so I can click either this back arrow, 2 back arrows. I can reply to him here. The single arrow, when I reply to him, it will only reply to the person who sent the email. However, if you do the two, it will also add in any people that were copied into the email. So for example, if I copied in Dave at mavenconsultancy.com, he would also be copied into this email. There is another button here. This button with an arrow pointing forward instead of back. This is to forward an email. So for example, if Samuel sent me an email and I wanted to forward it to someone, it was something really interesting, I wanted to share it with someone else, I would then click forward on the email, and then this entire email chain below here then appears at the bottom of our email, begin forwarded message, and instead of saying RE:test, it says FWD:test. So then I would send this to Dave at mavenconsultancy.com. And if I sent that off, that would then go to him, and it would show all the emails that me and Sam have been having today. So we're not going to save that. So we're not going to add that to our drafts. That effectively is how to send emails, how to reply to emails, and how to forward emails. It's very simple. You can mess around and play with how you want to do it. So you can change settings. So you can look at it like this, or you can look at it so individual emails. But ultimately, it's fairly simple. That's quite the basic use of mail is going to be, and probably the most common use of mail is going to be sending emails, replying to emails, forwarding emails, and receiving emails. That's all for this video. The next video is going to be on drafts. It's going to be on flagged emails. It's going to be on sent emails, junk and trashed, all these other things in these mailboxes on the side. We're going to go through them in the next video. That's all for this video. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.